Okay, hello. So, my health lesson today is over nicotine. This would be the lesson that I would have taught in the high school at Taylor High School if circumstances were normal, which they aren't. But here we are. So, what I'm going to be talking about today in this PowerPoint specifically is going to be nicotine, the different types of nicotine products, how they're assembled. Also, I go into a little more depth about the effects on people that each individual product has. Also, when I'm done talking about those at the end, we'll kind of catch a little bit of how you can stop your nicotine slash tobacco use. So that's just a quick spiel on what we're going to be talking about in this lesson. I'm going to try to get it in under 15 minutes, but I'm probably going to go over, so I'll just have to make 2 videos, but here we go. So we're going to start with the bell ringer. So the first bell ringer question is, what is nicotine? So I would obviously give them a few minutes to jot that down on a piece of paper, but just when nicotine comes to your mind, what is it? So it's the addictive component of tobacco. So when people think nicotine, sometimes they think tobacco, but they are not necessarily the same thing. They do go hand in hand, but nicotine is just the addictive component of tobacco. So nicotine can also be used in other ways too, in liquid form as well, to put in things like e-cigarettes, so it does not always just have to be in tobacco. The next question is nicotine found in other products besides tobacco? I just kind of talked on that a little bit, my bad. But yes, it is found in other products besides tobacco products. So you see these Juuls and vapes and things of that sort that have the juice form of nicotine, that they can be used for that, not just cigarettes, cigars, or chewing tobacco. Our next question is, does the 50 to 70 age group use the most nicotine in the US? That is not true. So it is actually the 18 to 25-year-old age group, which is crazy to think about, because when you think of cigarettes and things of that sort, you think the older age generation, and then because they didn't know as much back then, but now we actually do know the harmful effects of nicotine and tobacco, and the newer generations are still using it, which is actually quite a problem. So we're going to get into the different nicotine products now. So chewing tobacco right off the bat. So this is packaged either as a loose tobacco leaves compressed into small brick-like shapes called a plug, or braids, or leaves called a twist. So this chewing tobacco can be in a little bit different forms. So this is probably one of the least popular forms of tobacco or nicotine, I would say. I feel like older people typically use this, so in the newer generations it's not used as much. The way it's used is you just take a piece of whatever form it is in, and you put it between your cheek and your gum, and like the saliva will build up, and it can either be spit or swallowed, but most of the times people spit it. It can be flavored, and a lot of people that use this will call it chew. Effects of chewing tobacco would be addiction, oral cancer, precancerous mouth lesions, heart disease, dental disease, pregnancy risk, poison risk for children. So all of these are pretty self-explanatory. It also does damage to it obviously does damage to your mouth, because it just is sitting in there and festering, basically. So that gives you the oral cancer and the mouth lesions. Dental disease, obviously, it's just sitting there on your teeth, can't be good for it. And the poison risk for children, if a child gets a hold of this strong tobacco and nicotine product, it could be really bad for them and cause a lot of health issues. So, moving on to another product, this is snuff. So, a lot of the time, this is confused with chewing tobacco, but it is different. This is like finely cut or ground tobacco that may be flavored. Kind of used the same way. It's put between the cheek or the gum, but the dry form of snuff can also be like snorted up the nose, which sounds disgusting, but it's a thing. So you just put it in your gum line basically normally. A lot of people call this dipping. It's probably the more popular form of the mouth tobacco and nicotine. So, yeah. The effects of snuff are kind of basically the same as the chewing tobacco, so I didn't really list all of them, but those are the main four. Obviously, cancer with any kind of nicotine or tobacco are going to be pretty high, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, cigarettes. I feel like everybody knows cigarettes are bad for you, but just details on it. So, cigarettes are the finely cut tobacco that's rolled into a paper. They usually come in packages, and what most people don't know is that cigarettes have about 600 chemicals just in that little rolled piece of paper. So obviously that's probably not good for you to be ingesting, but this will be the more popular form of nicotine/tobacco use over the years. Effects of cigarettes will be lung damage, heart disease, fertility problems, risk of type 2 diabetes, and poor oral hygiene. So all of those also pretty self-explanatory. They just do detrimental damage on your body. Not good for you at all. All right, so moving on, we're going to talk about cigars. So a lot of people think that cigars aren't as bad for you. They think they're more leisurely. Oh, I'll only smoke one every so often. It won't be bad, but they really are just as bad as cigarettes or worse. They're larger in size. They're actually rolled in leaves instead of paper. The brown stuff is like a leaf. One cigar can contain as much tobacco and nicotine as one pack of cigarettes, so that kind of tells you the range that that's on. So effects of cigars would be cancer, lung disease, heart disease, oral disease. And when it says disease, all these can correlate back to cancer as well. It's just something you don't want to play with. So this would be your more common types of nicotine these days, I would say. It's on the rise for sure, especially in the younger generation, like we talked about earlier in the bell ringer. It's 18 to 25. That's kind of the age group that is using this nicotine. Sorry about the phone call. So there's different forms. There's the vapes, there's the jewels, the little pens, kind of looking into that. When you're talking on about the vapes, most people use these and they put like juice in them that contains nicotine, but the things like the jewels and the disposable pens, they come with a certain amount in them and they're disposable. So like it says here, e-cigarettes come in many shapes and sizes. Most have a battery, a heating element, and a place to hold a liquid. Most people call this vaping. This was very confused at the beginning when these first came out, that they're healthier for you than cigarettes and cigars, and but there's a lot that's not known about them since they are so new. But the longer they've been out, the more problems we're seeing with it. So they are addictive. They've seen nicotine poisoning with it and a thing called popcorn lung. So popcorn lung is really on the rise, especially with the teens, college age students, because they're the main ones using these vapes and pens, and they're just a lot of like liquid in the lungs, blood in the lungs, stuff like that, which is obviously not very good. So we see all these different forms of ways to ingest nicotine and the effects they have on you. And after you see the effects that they have on you, I don't know why you wouldn't want to stop. So we're going to go through a few methods of the best options to help you to stop nicotine. So nicotine replacement therapy. So these are just methods that kind of help you wean yourself off of these nicotine products little at a time. So prescription nicotine in a nasal spray or inhaler. So this kind of would get you your fix, but it would not make you want to go smoke a whole pack of cigarettes. So it'll give you your nicotine, but it doesn't give you the harmful effects of tobacco. So over-the-counter nicotine patches, gum, and lozenges. These can get pretty expensive, but in the long run, they are a very good replacement. They kind of give you what you're looking for to wean you off of your harmful tobacco products. Avoid triggers. So, identify your trigger situations and have a plan in place to avoid them entirely or get through them without using tobacco. Don't set yourself up for a smoking relapse. So, what this is kind of talking about is like if you know that you always smoke at parties or you smoke when you're on the phone or whatever that may be, then pick up something, avoid those scenarios. If you're on the phone, just doodle or something to get your mind off of it so you can break that habit. Also, delay. Keep yourself busy. If you feel like you're going to give in to your tobacco craving, tell yourself that you must first wait 10 more minutes and then do something to distract yourself for the period of time. So just tell yourself, I'm going to wait out a little bit more, and then find something to distract yourself, and then you'll find yourself not even wanting it in the first place. So chew on it. So this is talking about gum, candy, sunflower seeds, something like that. Just get your mouth distracted on something else than wanting chewing tobacco or a cigarette or an e-cig. Don't have just one. So this is just talking about how you might just want one, but once you have one, you're going to want more, and it's going to be very easy to relapse in that situation. Get physical. So getting physically active can really help in this scenario of just getting your mind off of it. It reduces your tobacco cravings. And it doesn't matter if it's a long workout or a short one, anything helps. Call for reinforcements. Touch base with a family member, friend, or support group member for help in your effort to resist tobacco cravings. So this can help you just have a good support system, and they can be there for you through your process of trying to quit. So remind yourself of the benefits. Write down or say out loud the reasons you want to stop smoking and resist tobacco cravings. Feeling better, getting healthier, sparing your loved ones from secondhand smoke, and saving money. All these are great reasons to stop nicotine or tobacco usage. So throughout this lesson, we've kind of went through the products, the effects they have on you, and how to stop, the best methods to stop. So I hope y'all learned a lot from this lesson, and that's all I have for today. Thank you.